Hey, awesome friends. I am Awesome Danny. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the ZiiGaat Odyssey 2. I haven't heard the first one, but we have the number 2 here. And apparently this is a collab. Yeah, see that right there? I guess it's a collab with Hangout Audio, which I didn't even know until I bothered to actually look at the box after I was already like halfway through my review process. But that doesn't really change anything in the process. In fact, maybe somewhat of a hot take here, but collabs are fine. You think just because Lil Timmy and R&D doesn't get to put his name on the box that there's no collaborative effort there? Collabs are just marketing. The name on there, that's all it is. It's just marketing. It can't hurt you. You guys actually think Cardi B is at McDonald's making the, her McDonald's meal for you guys when you're sitting in the drive-thru? But anyways, so Odyssey 2, really good IEM, but not for everyone. Or it is for everyone, and that's what makes it okay, but not okay. What's that phrase? I've been seeing it, especially with like video games, like you make something for everyone, then it's for no one. So like I mentioned, it's a collaborative IEM. We have one dynamic driver and 3 balanced armatures in each side, and it comes in at $249.99. I'm gonna put this down because I'm gonna keep waving it for the camera. But overall, this set is overall a step up from like every other ZiiGaat that I've tried. Just like in packaging, build quality, accessories, inclusions, it felt a little bit more cohesive and just a little bit more elevated. You see, when I review a product on this channel, I review the product, not just its sole intended function. Like if I want to just sound, anything can make just sound, right? So unboxing was still kind of meh. It was okay. Very, compact and basic packaging here. We have a very nice case, and that's going to be the theme here with all of the accessories. They're all really nice. The case is a leather case or fake leather. I don't know. I'm not sure. Which is a little bit larger than the average case that you get with a lot of IEMs these days, and also has a molded insert for you to like, wrap up your IEM and place it in there, and it won't move around because it's going to be held in place very well. But it is more of a throw in your bag or leave on your desk kind of case instead of putting it in your pocket, unless you have freakishly huge pockets, which for some reason, if you do, how many tacos can you fit in there? Like, can you guys, try out what's your taco pocket size? I want to know the best taco pocket capacity I can buy. Let me know in the comments. And then the cable is a modular cable. It doesn't match in color with the faceplate on the IEM itself, but I do appreciate that it's a different color. It's green. It is refreshing, a little bit different. It went for a lightweight thin cable, which is in theory good. It doesn't always translate to a more premium and fancy experience like those really big thick cables. I like them thick. It worked. The cable's pretty, and it has modular plugs, comes with 3.5 and 4.4. We don't need 2.5, so that's good that wasn't included. And then we get 2 sets of silicone ear tips. One set is very flimsy and grippy. I guess they're probably liquid silicone, kind of like the ultra clears, really grippy, ones that feel like they're eye contacts. Those are really nice. And then there's another set that's not as grippy, but still a little bit grippy and a little bit firmer. Both sets of silicone ear tips feel very good, very premium. Like I could easily see myself buying each set for like around $10, like any other premium ear tip set. Then we get 1 pair of foams. I know, ew, right? Foams, like who even uses those? I guess they're just included so that you can see by comparison how much better silicone ear tips are. All you foamies right now, go ahead and rage in the comments. I don't care. Now for the build on the shell, it is on the fatter side with a short nozzle, but the angle on the nozzle was actually pretty good. I didn't have any fit issues. The shell itself is metal, and then it has a very pretty faceplate, but like I mentioned before, the faceplate does not technically match the cable. It has a little bit more of that blue color with it. It's like a sea green but darker, while the cable is just green. Definitely not a deal breaker, but just wanted to mention it since it does bug me every time I'm using it. All right, now for some graph sniffing. There it is. Wait, no, over here. Now stop me if you've heard this one before. Base boosted neutral. That's basically what we got here. Though it is a little bit different than most base boosted neutrals that I've tried, like ever. This goes for a little bit more restrained approach where the upper end is on the darker end of neutral. So it's still pretty neutral, but a little bit under the average neutral. A lot of subtle nuances where it lands on neutral. A lot of neutral sets tend to be a little bit brighter. This one is just, you know, reined it in a little bit more. In fact, I could see some people thinking that this feels more of a dark neutral-ish, warmish, bassy. Man, I feel like if you just like position any buzzword properly, you can just call any set anything. It's a warm, you know, bright, bassy, like lush. I don't know, whatever. But you guys see the graph, right? Like, you guys see it. You can make your own, you know, opinions based on that, since graphs tell everything, right? But the set, like I mentioned, with the darker tonality does feel bassier than it really is. It's not a super bassy set, but the bass does come through very nicely, especially with my usual library. The bass feels a little bit more back-ended, tiny bit more focus on that rumble. You get that rumbly tumbly, a little bit less of that mid bass impact, but it's not by much. The overall mid bass and sub bass does have the texture, and the ripples within the sub bass is nice. It can feel a little monotonous and even. It's almost like it's a machine just executing. And that's kind of like the whole theme here with this set. The whole sound just feels expertly calculated and well executed, but just missing a little bit of that fun. Mid-range on these is actually really good. I really like the mid-range. Feels pretty accurate, just not as bright as I would like. Vocals are pleasant. They actually are pretty pleasant, both male and female. Just that even though they have decent clarity, the female vocals lack a bit of that intensity that I really like. Not as forward. Again, just slightly darker of neutral. And then when we get to the treble, it's same story here. Feels pretty safe, a little bit reined in, gives it an overall darker than neutral approach. And when I say darker, it's just a tad. It's not a lot. Treble is there, it is smooth, it gives you that refined type of presentation. There's just enough grit to give you the texture within the treble, but it's not sparkly or splashy. The entire treble line feels just a bit under neutral. It feels like the tuning is not something you can easily find around this price range with these capabilities, but the capabilities are kind of average for this price range. I feel like I can get something a little bit more detailed at this price range. But if I want more balanced tuning, then I would just have to give up on more details and get this. But overall, I really like the Odyssey 2. It just reminds me of a Studio 4 that has a little bit more, you know, thickness down under. You know, I like them thick. So I definitely recommend that you check out the set if that sounds appealing to you. If you want something that's gonna be less fatiguing than the average set, have good mid-range with nice full vocals that don't get too grating, and good bass presence that can do a variety of genres very well. I didn't find a genre that these really had too much trouble with. I definitely recommend you check this out. My rec rating is going to be a 2 out of 3, which makes it a soft yes. The price is my main concern here. Just on price alone, if you're looking at IEMs and you're shopping, you're going to see this price and be like, maybe it's a little bit too much for something like this. Maybe I can get something a little bit cheaper and just, you know, save some money, which is good. You should always think about saving money. But the thing with this set, and like I mentioned before, I don't judge based on just a one function. Obviously that one function is very important. If it can't do the one function it's designed to do, then why buy it? But also keep in mind, it feels very well built. It is a metal shell, so but also keep that in mind in case you have to deal with condensation. But the accessories, everything is quality here. This is easily one of my top recommendations for a main set just because it's so balanced and versatile. This is a very safe pick. Rec rating 2, wait for a sale. Usually that's pretty good. Are you okay, dude? I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description for you guys if you want to go check out the Odyssey 2. I'm not sure who sent it to me. I'm not sure if it was ZiiGaat, Hangout, or Linsel. I think I've seen it on there too. I'll just leave the links for all of them. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content. I am Awesome Danny. This is Sonny McSunderson. And until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.